Okay. We'll give it another minute before we do roll call.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we're live streaming.
Oh, that's true.
Morning, Josephine, Randy. Happy New Year.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
See you guys.
Just giving it another minute.
You too, Anthony. I'm not ignoring you.
Okay, so we're live streaming right now, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, and everyone is in. All right, so welcome everyone. Can we have Andre, the Spanish interpreter, make your announcement?
Sure. Buenos días para todos los participantes, aquellas personas que necesiten escuchar esta reunión en español, tienen disponible la línea en español. Pueden conectarse marcando al número de teléfono 347-966-4114 y luego pues ingresan al número de identificación 470-214-656, signo de número. Por favor, recuerden desactivar el micrófono en su teléfono para que no haya un eco y esta información va a estar puesta en el chat. Gracias.
Thank you. And I just want to remind our members and our presenters to please speak slowly so that our interpreters can translate for our school communities. So it is 9:33. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Can I get a motion?
Motion to open.
Thank you, Rima. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second.
I heard 3 people. I can't see the faces.
Veronica was one of them.
Okay, thank you, Veronica. All right, so Happy New Year, everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed the holiday season with their family and friends, and you had time to relax and rest and prepare for the second half of the school year. So if everyone can please write your district or borough in front of your name. I'm going to drop the attendance form in the chat again. If you need assistance, please write it in the chat and we will rename you.
Okay. We're going to start roll call. So as I announce your district, just unmute yourself and say present. District 1. District 2.
Present.
District 3.
Present.
District 4. District 5. District 6. District 7. District 8. District 9. District 10. District 11. District 12.
District 12 here.
Thank you. District 13. I'm sorry, 14. District 15. District 16. District 17. District 18.
District 18 present.
Thank you. District 19. District 20, I am here. District 21. Violetta is here. District 22. District 23.
Grand Rising, Happy New Year to all.
Happy New Year. District 24. District 25.
Present. Thank you.
District 26.
Present. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. District 28. District 29.
Priscilla's here.
District 30.
Present.
Becca's. District 31.
Good morning, present.
Good morning. District 75. Brooklyn High School's President's Council.
Here.
Bronx High School.
Present, Grand Rising.
Manhattan High School.
Present, and my designee should be on as well. Thank you.
Here, thank you. Queens High School.
Present.
And Staten Island High School.
Present.
Thank you, thank you. Priscilla?
I am on. Hello.
Thank you very much. Okay, greetings, everyone. I'm just going to go over the dues. Can you just pull up the screen, Josephine? Thank you so much. During our meeting, these are our dues. Wait to be recognized before speaking. Be here. Be respectful, courteous, and professional. If you're going to disagree, disagree amicably. Remember, other members would like to speak, so be mindful of the time. We ask you to keep your responses to 2 minutes or less. Don't unmute yourself to say you have your hands up. Side conversations in the chat are prohibited. Be disrespectful. We don't tolerate that. Do not ask follow-up questions after your question has been answered, and use the chat to ask follow-up questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Priscilla.
Thank you.
So here's our agenda. Everyone, voting members were emailed, and our members, community at large, received this as well. So CPAC committee, if you would like to join one or more of our committees, the voting members received an email with a link on the questionnaire. Members of the community can join by going to cpac.com, and under the standing committees, there are links to view the committees and a link to join the committee or committees you're interested in. So some announcements. We have a new mayor. Mayor Zohran Mamdani is our new mayor for New York City. He has appointed our New York City Public School Chancellor, Kamar H. Samuels, and you'll hear from him a little bit later in this meeting. We have information for 3K admissions. January 14th, the application opens. Friday, February 27th, it closes, and May 19th, families will receive offers. Pre-K admissions, January 14th, the same dates. May 12th, they receive their offer. Kindergarten admissions has already opened. It closes on January 23rd, and March 31st, they will receive their offers. And January 19th, schools are closed for Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And then there's some high school regions information here. If you'd like to screenshot that, it may be easier. And you could always go onto the New York State website to see the examination schedule. This is something that the District 28 FLC Sonia Rueda and Shirley Aubin do. They do a mid-year checkup. So if anyone is interested, you will be able, it's January 13th at 9:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. So we want to make sure that you're aware of that. And information has already been emailed out. We have our minutes. Minutes were sent out to the voting members to review prior to today's meeting. So would someone like to make a motion to approve them?
District 31, motion to approve.
Thank you, Melissa. And a second?
D25
Second.
seconds.
D25, Veronica?
Yes.
Thank you. So the minutes are approved with no objections. I'm just going to ask the Spanish interpreters to make the announcement again.
Sí, buenas, para aquellas personas que necesiten escuchar esta reunión o que les interese escuchar esta reunión en español, pueden marcar el número de teléfono 347-966-4114 y luego el número de identificación 470-214-656, signo de número. La información también está en el chat. Gracias.
Thank you. So now we have our UFT Borough Parent and Community Liaisons. So we want to welcome you and thank you for everything you do and your continued partnership and collaboration with parents and families across the city. So we're going to ask Nicholas Cruz, who is the UFT Community and Parent Outreach, if he would like to get us started.
Yeah, thank you. So could you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
We're good?
Yes.
Beautiful. So real quick, good morning to everyone on this call. My name, as you mentioned, is Nicholas Cruz. I'm the director of our UFT's Community and Parent Outreach Department. And on behalf of our president, Michael Mulgrew, who unfortunately could not be with us today, I just want to begin by expressing a heartfelt thanks to the Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council of New York City, mind you. All right, so applause to you. Your partnership, dedication, and guidance mean the world to us, and I'm sure that the families that we all serve, right? Congratulations to the newly appointed Chancellor, Mr. Samuels, and to the entire CPAC body, right? We are truly excited about working, right, with you all and looking forward to continuing our long-standing collaboration and support to the families and schools that we serve across the city. Our department is made up of 5 dedicated parent liaisons who I'm happy to see that, you know, they're all here, many of whom you all already know. For those who haven't had the chance to meet them yet, it's my pleasure to introduce them today and to take a moment to acknowledge the work that they do in collaboration with the work that the CPAC body does, right? The commitment, the collaboration, the partnership, you know, that all sets the stage, right? For providing, you know, our families the platform to speak out and be a voice for you know, their children, our children, and our families. So before I share their updates, or before I let them share their updates, I'd like to briefly highlight the mission that guides our work. The United Federation of Teachers' parent engagement efforts are focused on building and strengthening partnerships through school families, through communities, through our workshops. And our goal is simple, you know, to keep parents informed and to have a welcoming, you know, inclusive, active, engaged partnerships and to continue to serve our children, right? Our parent liaisons are focused on building trusting relationships, providing culturally responsive outreach, and fostering meaningful two-way communication. They help families navigate school systems, access vital roles, and engage fully in school life and decision-making. Most importantly, parent liaisons serve as a trusted connectors between home and school, elevating parent voices, supporting our communication, and helping schools create inclusive, community-centered environments that promote student success. We are grateful for this partnership, for this long-standing partnership, and I'm excited to hear from all of you as we continue working together, from our liaisons as they continue working with families, and the incredible work to uplift families, strengthen communities, and all the like. So thank you. Happy New Year. And you know, may we just continue to support each other as this year continues forward. All right. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to introduce our folks, but before I do that, I also wanted to also introduce our paraprofessional rep, who's on the call also, Priscilla Castro, who's also part of just our team. So what do I do next?
Randy, you muted.
Thank you. Priscilla, would you like to present first, or do you want to let the borough reps, the borough liaisons go first? Up to you.
I will go first.
You have to share your screen or anything?
No.
Okay.
No. Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me. My name is Priscilla Castro. I am the chapter chair for the paraprofessionals of New York City. So I oversee all the paraprofessionals in 5 boroughs. I don't know, Nick, if you wanted me to talk about the Respect campaign now, or is that good?
Yep.
You guys are good with that? Okay. So I'm here on behalf of Michael Mulgrew, who couldn't attend today, but I wanted to give everybody an update in regards to legislation 1261. So legislation 1261 is a bill that we would like passed at City Council. It's to give paraprofessionals $2,000 yearly once the legislation is a bill. And why a legislation? We did this because in the fall of 2024, we did a special education survey. And the impact that we got back was that there was a need of paraprofessionals across the city. And because of that, myself, and the members of City Council, we created this legislation. Within that time, Keith Parles, one of the council members, he introduced the bill. Just giving you a little back history, right? He introduced the bill in April of 2025. From that launch, the paraprofessionals took ownership and met with city council members in their office, did rallies. We really stood out. April 2nd, we did a big rally at City Hall. We closed down the streets, right? We advocated because paraprofessionals are leaving the profession, not because they want to, it's because money is not sustainable. So this will, the paraprofessionals will greatly appreciate these $10,000, once it's passed. So within this time, we recently, in November, we had a testimonial hearing at City Hall. It went great. Not only did we have the officers there, the para officers there, but we also had paraprofessionals as well to speak out, and parents that speak out, and council members to also speak out in regards to the respect check, right? Because we call it the respect check. And the speaker, Adrian Adams, was, he just decided not to give us a date after the testimonial, which is okay, right? Because we are strong, the powers are strong in the city. And again, we do this work because of the love for the children. We love the work that we do. So currently, right now, this month in January, all the paraprofessionals, right, my borough coordinators, because there's a borough coordinators, and the PACs, the legislative PACs in the boroughs, they're in conversations with the council members within the boroughs and meeting with them, individual meeting. Because we have about, I believe it's 10 new council members. So not only are we meeting with the new council members, but we also meeting with the former council members as well. So happening this month. This month, we have paraprofessionals who are meeting with the city council members individually, telling them their story and the need for the $10,000. And once this is done, right? Our hope is that with the new speaker, Julie Menon, who she has been a great advocate, and she has been there every step of the way, been very vocal. So our hope is that there will be a hearing soon, at least the month of February. So, we can say our story again. It's okay. It's okay. But the goal is that once that's done, that the legislation will be passed under the new leadership. Julie Menon, the new Congress members, and after that, the legislation going to the mayor's office, it should be signed, and the paraprofessionals will receive the $10,000. So that's where we are right now. And I want to thank you as advocates, as parents. Thank you for everything that you do every single day, because our paraprofessionals are there for your children, and they're there every single day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you for being here, for advocating. What helps you helps us. Paraprofessionals are important. They're vital to our children's success. So every day they support our children with the highest needs. They provide academic, behavioral, and emotional support that allow our children to learn, grow, and thrive. So they deserve a livable wage. So if parents, we urge you to reach out to newly elected Speaker Menon today and see if you can, our collective voice can help move this bill, forward. So this is really important that we do this. We know that most of the New York City Council members have signed on in support of the Para Respect Check bill. So please reach out to Speaker Menon and just use your voice and advocate for all our children.
Thank you.
Is there Priscilla, sorry, is there an action plan that you may want for this body to take moving forward so that we can be ready for that February proposed date?
Well, right now we're the action that we're calling is for everyone to reach out to Speaker Menon. We do hear the same thing that you're hearing, that she's receptive to this and will bring this to the floor. So we want to be respectful to her. This is her first full day as speaker. But if you hear something that we need to know, please reach out to us and let us know, and we will definitely take action.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much.
Okay, so next we have our Borough Parent and Community Liaisons. We have this thing, with CPAC and our New York City Public School friends. So would you like to start with the Bronx first?
Oh, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
The Bronx, thank you. The Boogie Down. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to introduce myself. I am Maria Morales. I am the Bronx UFT Parent and Community Liaison and Parent Coordinator. I want to begin by saying, wishing everyone a happy and healthy and blessed new year. And I also want to share something that is coming up. This is an opportunity in collaboration with School District 11, CPAC Chair April Parks. We are hosting a Title I parent conference in the Bronx. And this is going to be January 31st of this year from 8 to 3 p.m. We are working with our communication department to send out the registration link next week, and also finalizing the program. So I wish that, you all can attend, or some of you can attend. I also want to encourage you, if you are not part of the UFT Liaison listserv, to sign up for that. But if you like, you could contact me directly or April for the registration link for the conference. But please sign up, and I could probably put the link in the chat before I head out to my appointment. So you can sign up if you're not part of that listserv, so you can be in the know and know what we are doing in our boroughs. So thank you for this opportunity to share it, and we'll have more throughout the year, workshops and collaboration with our parent leaders. So thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Queens? Elsie? I see her. She's trying to unmute. Yeah, you can. Okay, I'll ask you.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, we hear you.
Great, thank you. Sorry for that. I feel that I'm still not Zoom savvy. Good morning, everyone. My name is Delcy Rodriguez. I'm your Queens Parent and Community Liaison. Exciting things going around in the Borough of Queens. This Saturday, we have, in collaboration with Queens Borough President and Queens North Schools, a Parent Resource Day. If you email me, I can send you that registration link, as well as emergency preparedness that's going on at our office on January 26th. I emailed the flyer to CPAC yesterday. I don't know if you have it. If you guys wish to have it and to join, please, I encourage you to register. We do a lot of advocacy, engagement, and advocacy work for our parents, for our communities, and for our schools. Thank you for the opportunity, everyone.
Thank you. Staten Island?
Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. Thank you for the opportunity to be here to introduce myself. My name is Marie Rodriguez, and I am the Parent and Community Liaison for Staten Island. I just want to loop you into a couple of upcoming things I have going on here at the Borough. The first weekend of February 7th, we're partnering with one of our community partners, the Staten Island Alliance. At the Staten Island Children's Museum, we're hosting an early education enrollment day. And that's going to be going on all day long from 12 to 4 at the Staten Island Museum. Parents will be able to come to the museum free of charge for the day, participate in all of the activities going on at the museum, as well as get information and resources for early childhood enrollment for the next coming school year. In addition, I'd like to say for my folks out in the D75 community, I'm working with one of our community schools, P373, to organize parents to advocate for a new structure. They have a mini building behind their regular school building that was supposed to be a temporary structure that is now 22 years old and falling apart. So I've been working with the PTA. We finally formed a subcommittee, and we're going to be moving forward to advocate for a new permanent structure, because all they're getting is Band-Aids on all of the repairs that just keep piling up. So if there are any folks in the D75 community that would like to be a part and help us push this forward, I'll put my information in the chat, and we would welcome you to attend our meetings. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and share with you today, and I wish you a successful second half of the school year.
Thank you so much, Marie. Next, Manhattan, Cynthia.
Happy New Year, all. Thank you for allowing me to reintroduce myself. My name is Cynthia Alvarez. I'm the Manhattan Parent and Community Liaison. I'm a product of New York City Public School and a daughter of a parent activist that actually was a part of the group that created the paraprofessionals that went to speak with Mayor Lindsay, because the community wanted to see more of the communities in the schools. So that's part of the work that was done. So it's important as parents that we support this, the bill, because it was created for us, by us. I was a member of CC2, CCSE, the Citywide Council on Special Education, and a public advocate under Tish for District 75, a founding member of ECC, and a UFT parent member that was also a part of the group that created, and I see Christina on the call, that special ed tip sheet by parents for parents. So I say that to say that I've been committed, as my work is in collaboration with you. The liaison, as Mr. Cruz has said, and I am so happy to be here. So part of my upcoming events that are coming up are February 14th, we have an underwear drive for survivors of sexual assault. It starts February 14th, collecting it here in our Manhattan office until March 8th, which is International Women's Day. So the reason why is because as sexual assault victims, the underwear is taken for evidence during the rape kit and they're not returned to them. So we're going to donate all of the donations to victim service centers who doesn't have a budget, but are the ones that support the parents. And then April 18, look for another conference, but this is the men conference, Men in Education Conference. It's going to be here on mentoring and supporting and having a male presence in the schools. So I look forward to sending out all that information. Both event will be happening here at UFT headquarters, 52 Broadway. And my information, I believe Nick sent a sheet with all of our contacts, but if not, I'll put it in the chat as well. And I'm available in service. Invite me to your schools. I do workshops with parents at the PTA as well, and I work with the district and the CECs. Thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Cynthia. Happy New Year to you as well. Next, so we have last but definitely not least, we saved the best and biggest borough, Ian Stewart for Brooklyn.
I appreciate that, Randy, and definitely shout out to all my other liaisons. But Brooklyn is in the house, you heard? So thank you so much for having me in the space. My name is Ian Stewart, and I'm the Brooklyn Parent and Community Liaison. And I'm very happy to be here. Happy New Year to everybody, of course. And thank you for inviting me to the space. I have an extensive background in community service work, specifically in service providing and therapeutic services. So I'm happy to bring that here into the work and into the space, as well as the relationships that I have with various CBOs and crisis management centers that are throughout the entire borough and, of course, throughout NYC. So I'm happy to be able to bring that experience and those contacts into this work to be able to enrich the amazing school environments that we are all trying to have our young people enjoy. Moving forward, of course, we're going to have a few events that are coming up out in Brooklyn. Real quick, every last Thursday of the month or fourth Thursdays of the month, we have our parent summits, or those are our general parent meetings for the borough of Brooklyn. However, this month will be a little bit different because we'll be doing things hybrid. So we'll actually be doing ours probably on the 27th. But more importantly, what we have coming up is our IEP workshop series presented by Stephen Mincer. So those are going to be, it's a 4-part series. Our first part is going to be January 22nd. The next part will be January 29th. Part 3 will be February 5th. And the last part will be February 26th. I think 26th or 27th. I always get that last date mixed up, but that's the last Thursday of February to kind of get us geared up for what's going to be happening for the rest of the year. And also, I know all of the liaisons would be happy for me to share that we will be having Lobby Day coming up in March 16th. So definitely, if you know anybody that's interested, any organizations that are interested, UFT, we got buses and we got some sandwiches and stuff for y'all too. And we definitely would like to get everybody on board as quickly as possible so that we're all on the same page on the legislative agenda, because we have a lot of new faces, new people sitting in seats, and we want to make sure that they understand that we are just as dedicated dedicated to our children's education as ever before. Also, we're looking at April as being our kickoff month for therapeutic services, where we're looking at different types of mental health and other resources to be able to help support our parents and community members back at home. So what's that sound like? We're going to have a couple painting chats. I know y'all wish it was sipping paints, but if it was just going to be juice. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't be liable for sipping. But we can definitely have some juice, some good conversation, and paint some pictures on what things we can do to help support ourselves and the rest of the people in our family unit as we want to support our young scholars. Thank you again for giving us the space to have this conversation, and we hope that it happens more. Echo everything that all of the former liaisons said. Please invite us to come out to your schools. Let us know what we could do to help support your PTAs, and we love to go and do events. As you can hear, everybody has a smorgasbord of things to offer. So we hope that everybody finds a place that they feel comfortable, and a big shout out to everybody that put this together. CPAC, thank y'all so much. I look forward to meeting y'all all in person if I haven't yet, and all the liaisons. We look forward to also seeing you during our parent leadership series, which I know Nick might give you some more information about coming up in May. Thank y'all.
Thank you so much. So here is the slide with all of their contact information. So if you want to take a screenshot of that, and you can share this, please, President's Council, presidents, please share this with your PAs and PTAs. They do have a lot to offer. I know every time I reach out to Ian, he shows up, so he's there definitely for Brooklyn. I know the rest of the liaisons too. They all show up, so thank you all for what you do for our families, for our children, and we appreciate you being here today. It's about collaboration and partnership always. Okay, so next up we have DIAL, which is the Division of Inclusive and Accessible Learning. I believe we have.
Thank you, Randy.
Oh, so okay, I'm sorry.
Great. No, thank you so much. And before we kick off into the presentation that was requested, and we are so happy that you guys asked us back. We do have Deputy Chancellor Christina Foti with us this morning, so I did want to give our Deputy Chancellor just a few minutes to introduce and say anything that's on her mind.
Well, I'm only going to say a quick hello out of deep respect and excitement to be with you all. Thank you all for having us. To our UF2 parent liaisons, we love seeing you all, and thank you for all that you do. And to CPAC, thank you always for your partnership and collaboration. I want to leave the space for all of the content that was prepared today, but thank you for letting me say good morning. Hi, everybody.
Thank you so much, Deputy Chancellor Foti. Really appreciate that. And I just want to echo to all our UFT parent and family liaisons. I did drop in the chat for Ian as well. We would love the special education team. I'll speak for all of DIAL, so not just the special education team, but our colleagues and supporting children and families who are multi-language learners. We would love at any time to come side by side or support, present, share resources at any of your parent and family engagement sessions. Johanna Rodriguez, who is our parent leader on the special education team, is going to drop her info in the chat. And we would absolutely love to come alongside and support any of those that would be helpful for you all. So thank you so much for that. So we were asked to come back, and we're really glad about that, to present on parents' rights and around evaluations and the IEP process. So we have a really a content-rich, a lot of information in the presentation, which will be shared with you all after we present today. And we're also going to share with you our link to the Beyond Access series, which is a family-facing series about how-tos on different topics related to special education, and one of them is certainly the IEP process and parents' rights. So we're going to make sure you have that, and we are all available to answer and respond to questions, concerns, anything after this presentation. We will share our contact information, and really happy to be here. I'm joined by some very important leaders in the special education team. In the name of time, I'm just going to ask them each to very quickly just say their name, and then we're going to kick off the presentation. Lauren, I'll start with you.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Suzanne. Happy to be back. Thanks for having us. I'm Lauren Sullivan. I work with the Office of Supervisors of School Psychologists.
Thank you, Lauren. Johanna?
Hi, my name is Johanna Rodriguez. I'm so sorry, I was typing and talking. I'm typing in the chat. I'm the Director of Family Support.
Johanna. Kathy Kaufman?
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Kathy Kaufman. I work with the Office of Supervisors of School Psychologists. Pleasure to be here.
Kevin McGinn?
Morning, everyone. Kevin McGinn, Executive Director of Special Education Policy. So great to see you all.
Joanna Charles?
Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. My name is Joanna Charles, and I'm Chief of Staff for the Special Education Office. Nice to see you.
If I missed anyone from Dial, please jump in.
Hi, good morning. Armina Vallejo. I'm the Executive Director of School-Based Evaluations. Happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Arwina. So CPAC, we brought all of our experts around this work. A, we want you to see and know us, and B, we want to make sure that we have all the right people to respond, answer any questions, and present this really important information for our families. Navigating a large school system can be challenging, it can be difficult, and our work here in Dial is to make that more efficient, a bit more simple and family facing, and ease of access for our families. That is our goal. We work with superintendent teams on a daily basis to get to that place, and we are continuing that work. We have made progress, and we have more work to do as always. So that's, I think, why we're so appreciative of being here. Lauren, I'm going to turn this over to you, and let's share some really important information.
Great, thanks. All right, so we do have a content rich, that's for sure. That was a good way to put it, Suzanne. A lot of information that we want to share with you because we understand you have questions around the evaluation process, what's happening with children during that time when they're working with our IEP teams, as well as what are some of the families' rights during this time as well. So we are going to really focus on those two big areas today, and we'll answer any questions you have as we go along. And why is that? Because you and all of the families who you work with are our partners. You're an integral part of the IEP process, the special education evaluation process, and beyond. We really need your input during this time. We want families to feel empowered and really to be a part of the process. So really, the more you know, the more we can advocate, and in the long run, the more all of the children can grow and succeed. So we'll be referencing a couple of different teams today who are responsible for things like our initial evaluations, reevaluations, IEP meetings, and supporting students through the special education process. So our school-based support teams, our IEP teams, are those teams who are in our buildings. They work in our K through 12 school districts, we also have our CSE teams, our Committee on Special Education. They are supporting students in our charter, non-public, private, and religious schools. And then also our CPSE teams who are evaluating and working through the special education evaluation process with our preschool students. And I know I've already started with a couple of acronyms, and that was something else that you had mentioned that you wanted to learn more about. So towards the end, we are going to provide a resource for you to understand where we are getting many of these acronyms and what they mean. And we'll do our best to spell them out throughout the process today. So our special education process that you see here, really in steps 1 through 4, and then step 5 as well, focus on starting the initial referral or the request for referral that starts off the process. And we are really going to think about steps 2 and 3 for the purposes of what happens during the evaluation and the IEP meeting. What can you expect from our teams, and how can you also be a part of that process? So starting with step 1, our initial referral or our request for referral. If a student has a disability or we suspect the student has a disability and requires special education services, then we start that process with a request for an initial referral. And we'll talk about who can do that. And moving right through to step 2, the evaluation. Once we see consent happen for that evaluation, we start the process and move right through to making decisions at an IEP meeting. So let's see what happens during that process here for us. So how do we request a special education evaluation, right? And just to be very clear, because sometimes we hear, how do we request special education services? We're requesting an evaluation for a really important reason, to determine if special education services are actually required for a student. So one does not necessarily lead to another. And we start that process by requesting an initial referral in writing, whether that's through a written letter or an email to the school team. That includes really important details that you see here, right? That you are requesting a special education evaluations, some of the concerns that you have for a child, and explaining what those may be around learning, behavior, development, social development, what you see and what you know about the child at that time. And this is for anyone that suspects or believes that their child may require a referral or may require special education services. So the rest of the details that are really important to be included in there, the child's name, the preferred language. Why? Because we want to ensure that we're setting you up with somebody who can communicate appropriately and clearly with our families in their home language. And then if you already have reports that may be associated with an evaluation, we'd love to get them already so we could start reviewing and determine how to best meet that student's needs through a special education referral. So what is the parent's role, right? And like I said in the beginning, it really is vital and really important that we're involved right from the beginning. Our parents know our students really well and in a different light and contribute really meaningfully to this process. So that notice of referral at that point in time, that's where your rights start to get explained to you. And my colleague Kevin is really going to talk about some of those rights for you and what that means. So as you're the child's parent or guardian, you'll get explained that by our IEP team, whoever that contact is for you, whether it's at the school team, the CSE team, or the CPSE team. And that's the point in time that we learn about the purpose of the evaluation. Why are we evaluating this student? And we start to put together a plan. Another important part of that process is our social history. This is where our families meet with a member of the IEP team. This is typically our social worker. Again, this meeting happens in the language necessary for the family, or an interpreter or translator is involved to support the process as well. But we have social workers in many languages in many of our teams. So during this process, you're sharing important background information from birth or even pregnancy right through currently to help us understand more about the student and how we are going to move forward with this evaluation. And we really depend on our families during this time to be a leader in the process, right? Not just a part of the process, but really part of the leader. The family is invited to that meeting, and our social workers take really good care to learn as much as possible about students during that time. That's the time where you're going to learn again about your rights, and you give consent for that evaluation. Again, this happens in your preferred language. Even if you are the one who wrote the letter and requested the evaluation, we really want to ensure that you are informed and understand what this evaluation means for your child, understand what happens during the process, because the team will not begin until they have full permission from you, and you are really met with our social worker to truly understand your rights. One of those big ones being that within 60 calendar days, we are looking to have evaluated your child and held that IEP meeting and make some decisions around what the next steps will be for special education eligibility for them. So the evaluation process is really key for us here, right? What happens once you do start working with that consent? It looks really different for each student. So a lot of times we get the question about what type of assessments are you going to do? What does this look like? This is the process that helps us understand different areas about how your child learns, what supports they might need. And there are so many evaluations, we'll discuss a few today, that our teams have become experts in order to create a really comprehensive profile of the child. So that can include a psychoeducational assessment. Okay, that's how we understand how your child thinks, how they learn. We look at multiple areas of their development during that time. A physical exam. We work really closely with our families to bring in those physical exams to understand if there's any medical issues that may be impacting that student's learning for them. A classroom observation. Our expert clinicians will actually be able to visit the classroom of your child and watch firsthand how they're learning, how they're interacting with other students, what that looks like compared to the other students in the classroom. Right? They're trained really closely about what and how to look in our classrooms for our students, right from pre-K through 12th grade. And then there's other assessments that may help us explore any areas where your child may need help, right? That could be many different types of assessments that we'll be able to talk about. So for a student who may speak another language at home, I know that was a big question that came up from this group. That means that they are assessed in English in their home language, and we assign evaluators who are able to really determine for the student, is this an issue related to language acquisition? They are learning the English language, or is this related to an actual disability that we might be seeing in an educational environment? So here are the big buckets of assessments that we use. And when I say that we have a wide variety of assessments, I really mean that. We've expanded our testing library over the last few years, and our clinicians have become well-versed in these different buckets, right? So we see things like our achievement testing, and you may hear some of these terms, but we want to make sure we understand what those mean. Which is different than our cognitive testing, right? So our achievement testing to start is we're looking for the academic areas, how the student is learning. This helps us understand their unique strengths and needs. It talks to us about where they are performing in terms of grade level standards, grade level equivalents, and also can give us some percentiles that you may often hear about. So this is the type of assessment that our psychologists are working with our students to start the process, and it's part of our psychoeducational evaluation. Our goal really is to measure the current levels of academic performance and learning characteristics for students, and our achievement testing helps us understand that better. Coupled with cognitive testing, that really gives us a full picture and a full view of the student's ability, right? We're thinking about how is that student thinking. We're looking at their intellectual abilities, and we're trying to provide insight into how do they learn? What is this process? What are some things that may be causing them to have difficulty accessing grade level standards. So some of those examples can include things like executive functioning, reasoning, perception, memory that they may be struggling with, language, verbal and mathematical ability, problem solving, right? All those big buckets that we look at to create a full profile. And then specialized assessments. This is where we're looking in a very discrete area, including things like neuropsychological function, to really determine what specific need that the student has regarding a specific subject area or a specific area of their cognitive functioning that can help us learn more about how to support them. And then lastly, reading skills. So this is where you may be part of the evaluation as well. Our teams will ask our families to support in completing reading skills that give us a better idea of how you see that your child is performing in many of these different areas. So this can be in many different areas that we have: developmental skills, behavior, daily living skills, adaptive skills, social emotional learning. And again, these are available in a home language, so you can really support and collaborate with our teams during this time. But again, each assessment plan is really unique and individualized, and it starts to depend on the student's needs, what type of assessments we're using. So to put it all together and really moving beyond traditional assessments of what you may see, right, it being delivered and administered to students, we put it all together in these different areas. So we've recently gone more digital as well to really keep with 2026 and provide students with assessments that are on iPads. We're able to support students through a more virtual way. It's really increased engagement as well.
Lauren, if I may jump in, I think
Yeah.
you're selling the work a drip short, because I think the digital assessments are, I think the highlight and the most important aspect of those is that they're culturally responsive and that they were selected specifically to meet the broad range of students and families that reside in New York City. And I think that's really important. And I also want to share, also in the name of time, there are so many different reasons why a student may be struggling in their school and or academic environment. And what Lauren is detailing is a very complex, methodical, evidence-based and research-based approach to the school team determining why that student is struggling in academically or otherwise in their school setting. And it is unique to every individual student and their family. And it's a really complicated process, and it's crucial that as a system, we get it right. And the parent voice, parent participation in this process is key to everything that is going to happen with that child's development of their IEP, if in fact they do require special education services. And that's why presentations like this are really so important. So Lauren, I just want to thank you for really being so comprehensive there.
Yeah, thanks. No problem. So, and just to be clear there, right, if we need to focus on that a little bit, the academic and cognitive assessments, as well as many of our others, right, certainly culturally responsive. A lot of research has been done with many leading experts in the field of bilingual assessments and language development for our students. And we've really selected a pretty comprehensive group of assessments that allow us to really look at how a student is acquiring language and help us to support what language they're assessed in, and really determining, is this a language acquisition issue or something more like a learning disability or a language disability for that student. So yes, we do see many of our assessments, new over the last few years, really focusing on language for our students as well. So in the interest of time, I'm going to move us right through what happens at the IEP meeting, right? Like Suzanne just described. Here we're talking about if the student is eligible based on all the information that our team has put together and based on their unique learning needs. Again, this is not necessarily leading to an IEP or a disability classification for our students. We can see a student who is ineligible or declassified and is supported in a different way during that time. But if the student is determined eligible, then our team does work with a full group of stakeholders to make sure that we've connected what that student needs in terms of specialized instruction based on their strengths and their needs to create a comprehensive profile and IEP for them. Okay, so as we partner with you through this process, again, it's really encouraged that you're collaborating, whether it's through the social history, through rating scales, through the IEP meeting, about what your child knows and needs. So Kevin is going to talk to us a little bit about what some of your rights are throughout that process as well.
Thanks so much, Lauren. So the last slide that Lauren covered, really regarding parent involvement, is a really good segue into some other topics I know that the group had asked us to speak about, and that's the rights that a parent has in the special education process. When we talk about special education rights, I think the first thing that comes to mind for many is due process, whether it's an impartial hearing, a mediation, or a state complaint. But before we get to those conflict resolution procedures, I think we'd like to talk a little bit more about the rights that parents and guardians have throughout the special education process, so that we're not just talking about that end of the line, conflict resolution. And each of these are potentially lengthy conversations on their own, and we have limited time today. So I'll be discussing these at a high level and then sharing some resources with you in the chat and then also in the deck that you can visit for additional information. And of course, we're happy to come back again and talk about some of these in more depth. Broadly speaking, a parent's rights during the special education process include the right to participate, the right to have a certified additional parent member at the IEP meeting, the right to be fully informed, the right to consent, and then the right to challenge and appeal decisions that have been made about their child's special education. Lauren, you go next slide. So first, and perhaps most importantly, you as the parent have the right to take part in the decision-making related to your child's special education needs. That includes the right to bring other people to the meetings who have knowledge or special expertise regarding your child. You have meetings scheduled at a time that works for everyone, especially you as the parent, and that the parent would have an interpreter if needed. You just need to let the IEP team know, and at your request, an interpreter will be provided. Next slide. Sorry, Lauren, actually, could you go to the slide regarding additional parent member? Just one, two, sorry. So a support that's provided by state regulations to ensure that you can fully participate in the IEP meeting is the right to have a certified additional parent member at the meeting. This is another parent of a student with an IEP who has been trained by our partners that include NYC to support other parents at the meeting. Parents who would like the support of an additional parent member just need to let their CSE or school or CPSC, their preschool team, know at least 3 days before the meeting. And because I know we have some great parent advocates in the audience or people who are connected to great parent advocates, we have information here about the certification process if you're interested or you know somebody who would like to become an additional parent member themselves and support other families during the meeting. Sorry, Lauren, I was a little bit out of order. If you could go back to the language support slide. So I did touch briefly on your right to have an interpreter as needed at special education meetings. This of course includes interpretation for students and parents who use ASL. You also have the right to translated versions of your child's IEP upon request. And so there's information here that we'll share out around how to make those requests. You can also just make the request directly to your IEP team or school or CSC. Okay, thanks, Lauren. Sorry, can you back up just a little bit to informed? Yes. A critical part of your participation in the special education process is having an understanding of what decisions are being proposed, and at certain points in the process, your written consent to those actions. This can cover a number of things, including advance notice of IEP meetings, and then clear prior written notices advising you of actions that are being proposed. When we talk about consent and informed consent, that means that you've been fully informed about the action for which you're giving consent, and that you understand and agree in writing to that action. Consent is voluntary, of course, otherwise it would not be consent, and may be withdrawn at any time. With the caveat there that if actions that took place prior to your withdrawal of consent are generally not undone, and so consent is something that is kind of time stamped. And if you go to the due process piece, your right to challenge and appeal. Thanks. We've talked a lot today about the importance of the parent's voice in the special education process, but we also know that sometimes parents don't feel heard or they disagree with the decisions that are ultimately made by the IEP team. And so this brings us to your right to challenge and appeal decisions that are made regarding your child's special education. First, parents have the right to file a state complaint to ask the state education department to investigate concerns that the district has violated a law or a regulation related to special education and their child's receipt of a free appropriate public education. Parents can also request mediation so that you come together with the school or the district under the supervision of a trained mediator to work out any of the disagreements that are related to your child's special education. And that can include, agreements for modifications to the IEP, additional services, evaluations, et cetera. Many of the same things that are often brought to impartial hearing can be done in a less contentious environment. And then, of course, you have the right to file for an impartial hearing, so that the impartial hearing officer hears both sides of a disagreement and decides whether the district needs to take any steps to fix it. And then as part of that process, you and the district both have the right to appeal the impartial hearing officer's decisions to the state review officer, and then somewhat rarely beyond that to federal court, depending on the type of claim that's being made. And so your rights do not just end at the impartial hearing stage. If you disagree with that decision, you can also appeal beyond the impartial hearing officer. Next slide. I'm sorry, keep going. Like I said, these are really weighty, lengthy conversations, and so we have some resources here that you can reference for more information. Most importantly, I think, is the procedural safeguards notice, which is the state's approved created form that outlines everything that I've talked about today and really goes into detail about these rights and then other rights related to special education for students with disabilities. There's also information here about the state's complaint process, which is completely handled by the state. Information about the impartial hearing process. And then for parents who have filed an impartial hearing and have received an impartial hearing order that requires the district to take actions, there's information here about the impartial hearing order implementation unit, which is a separate DOE office that handles the implementation. And I see the question in the chat around state complaints. We'll put this information in the chat, as we go here, so that you have the information around filing these complaints. As part of the, I've talked a lot today about parent inclusion and how important that is. I think that we understand how overwhelming not only the terminology but also the acronyms related to special education can be, and how alienating it can feel when people are referring to acronym after acronym that you have to stop and ask what it means and look up. So we have created a special education glossary that includes both spells out what acronyms mean, but also gives a definition of what each of those terms refers to help you navigate the process. I think that I hand it over to my colleague Johanna to speak about family resources, in addition to the glossary and to the links that I've shared that our office has developed to help parents navigate the process.
Hi, I'm going to talk really quickly as I'm going to drop links in the chat. And I did say any specific special education concerns to email us at our general inbox. That is a live person. That is me and my colleague, Brittany Wilson, who do investigate any and all things that come through the inbox with our district teams and other central level folks. And we take care and resolve with our teams as quickly as we humanly possibly can. And so we're going to drop links to these resources that you see on your screen. This one in particular is related to our IEP meetings, where parents can use and prep for IEP meetings. They're broken up into elementary, middle school, and high school. I will drop the link to where all these resources live. Next slide, Lauren. As you see, I will, the inbox is there as well as the live link. We also have guides, preschool guides, kindergarten guides, school age guides, as well as transition planning guides. We also have hard copies as well of these guides and digital copies. I did drop, I don't know if people came in later, our Beyond Access, which is our webinars that we provide, are also on this webpage, and I'll also drop that in the link as well. And so I'll drop all these links for you all here. We're really excited about our Beyond Access, which is happening in 2 weeks. So we look forward to having you guys there as well. Those videos and webinars are recorded. So if you cannot make it on the 14th, those are edited and put on our YouTube channel where parents can also access it at a later time if they can't make it live as well. So we do appreciate your time. I know we talked a lot. It is a lot of information, but thank you always for having us. We really do appreciate your time. So I'll drop it to Suzanne and or Randy.
Thank you so much, Johanna, and the entire Dial team. Thank you all. Some of this is not some of it is a little dry, some people might say, right? But to us, this is we live and breathe this, so we really appreciate the time. There is one question that I want to quickly respond to. One is Veronica's question about the mandated 3-year eval process. So Lauren Sullivan's going to connect back there with you on that, Veronica. And a question about related service providers for high schools. I just so important, and right now in New York, well, across the country, there's a shortage of occupational therapists, and it has been a challenge to find OTs who are licensed and are available to work. So we have implemented a loan forgiveness program. So if it's a licensed OT who has college loans, that we pay portion of those loans. We have scholarship programs as well that we offer. And we actually have an OT hiring hall tomorrow, January 9th. But to give you all an example of the current state, we have funding right now to hire approximately 40 occupational therapists, and we had 16 signed up for the hiring hall tomorrow, despite tons and tons and tons of advertising and getting the word out with local universities, as well as LinkedIn and Indeed and places like that. So we are continuing to look for and recruit occupational therapists. We're leaning on our contract agency vendors as well. And we are working as hard and as thoroughly as possible. And it's not an excuse. We have to provide the services, and we are doing everything we can, and completely understand that weekend services doesn't work for every student and or their family. And Melanie Leon can share the link for the hiring hall information. We are doing everything we can, and we are going to continue and not stop, and certainly not be satisfied until we have the clinicians in place to meet the needs of our students and families. And we will keep this group updated as well on the progress that we're making there. So appreciate that question, and very much understand the challenge and the concern around the related service provision there. Despite being at, over 90% compliance, that's not good enough. That's thousands of children not receiving their services, and that's the work we're focused on a daily basis. So thank you for raising that.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. This presentation was absolutely amazing. It was everything we asked for and more. So we appreciate you and your team sharing this information, not just for our members, but for everyone watching on YouTube, that they can see, and we can also have people refer back to it so that whatever they've missed, outstanding. Like there's no words to express the importance of the work that you do and how many families are now going to benefit from hearing this and seeing this. And I did write in the chat, for anyone who did not see, we will be sharing the PowerPoint with the members. And if you have any questions, unfortunately, we're over time right now. So if you could write it in the chat or share your contact information, someone from Dial Team will respond. So thank you so much, Suzanne. Thank you to your team. Thank you, Lauren. You guys were amazing. I'm gonna ask the Spanish interpreter to make an announcement again.
Hello, the following announcement will be in Spanish. Para acceder a la interpretación en español por teléfono, marque el número 347-966-4114 y luego ingrese el código de conferencia 472-14-656, signo numeral. Repito, para acceder a la interpretación en español por teléfono, marque el número 347-966-4114 y luego ingrese el código de conferencia 472-14-656, signo numeral. Esta información también es disponible a través del chat. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, next on our agenda, we have face updates. We have Jesse Mojica here. Jesse, are you ready?
I am ready. Good morning. Good morning, Randy. Good morning, everyone. Always a pleasure to be here to present at CPAC. So just a few updates. Happy New Year as well to all. We're excited to share a couple of upcoming updates at the FACE office. First, we wanted to start with our upcoming town halls. As we all know, each education council hosts a town hall with the Chancellor once during its 2-year term. And these town halls are valuable opportunities for family and community members to hear about system-wide updates, raise concerns, and share directly with the department's leadership on issues. So they offer space for open dialogue and connection throughout the school community. And we hope you'll consider joining us for one of our January town halls. And we actually have a town hall this evening in District 9, hosted by CC9 at 6:30 at the Mott Hall Science and Technology Academy. And next week in District 29, on January 15th, we'll be having our second town hall for this actual calendar year at 6:30 at PSIS 208 at 74-30 Commonwealth Boulevard. And we'll include all this information in the chat members for your review. Also, as we talk about education councils, as everyone at CPAC knows, the importance of all of our respective parent leadership bodies, obviously the Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council, President's Council, and community and citywide education councils, as well as our local PAs and PTAs. So there are opportunities with respect to education councils. There are vacancies on the council, and we encourage families to attend council meetings to observe the work firsthand. And information on upcoming meetings, and we'll include this in the chat as well, will be at the New York City Education Council's webpage, as well as we'll include a link where families can review current vacancies and submit applications through the CCEC vacancy applications link. So we encourage that that be shared, and all parents who are interested in serving either at their district or citywide council, if they qualify, for instance, if they have an IEP, they're eligible for CCSE or District 75 council, if they're a District 75 parent, as well as if they reside in the district or they have a child in the district at a district school, they can apply to their local district CC. So we'll include the application link there, and we encourage everybody to share that and review that if interested. Also wanted to share a couple of updates, programmatic updates. New York City Public School Cares in Action is a citywide initiative focused on strengthening trust and partnership between families, schools, and New York City public schools through on-the-ground outreach and community-based events. New York City Public School Cares creates welcoming spaces where families can access resources, receive support, ask questions, and connect directly with New York City Public School staff and community partners. So this work centers on meeting families where they are and responding to local needs and reinforcing schools as trusted hubs of support for students and caregivers. So New York City Public School Cares continues to host monthly events in participating districts, currently including districts 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 19, 23, 24, 31, and 32. And also we'll include this information in the chat members, but just want to go quickly about some of the event dates. On January 6th, District 8, January 8th, District 9, January 9th, District 32, January 12th, District 7, also January 12th, District 24, January 13th, District 10, January 15th, District 12, January 15th as well, District 19, and January 16th, District 31, and then concluding in January on January 20th with District 23, and January 22nd in District 4. Also wanted to share our continued progress with our L Ambassador program. As of January 5th, 2025, there are 446 registered participants, and the program officially launched in December of 2025. So as of January 5th, 2026, I should say, there are 446 registered participants, and the program officially launched in December of last year. The program remains open to all families in pilot schools, and engagement continues to grow. This work is part of a broader collaboration between the Office of Multilingual Learners and the Office of Family and Community Engagement in support of the English Language Development Curriculum Pilot under the New York City Reads Initiative. Together, we are strengthening family engagement through culturally responsive outreach that ensures multilingual families are informed, supported, and meaningfully connected through the pilot. Building on 3 years of successful science of reading trainings for families, FACE will support the ELD pilot by partnering closely with the curriculum vendor, hosting and managing the training platform, and providing consistent communication and reminders. This approach ensures families receive clear, accessible information and feel empowered to support their children's learning at home. Also want to update all on the Family Connector sessions that continue weekly on Wednesdays at 12 and 6 p.m. with the next session scheduled for January 14th of this year. These sessions are designed to serve as a bridge between families and the many programs, services, and supports available through New York City Public Schools and partner organizations. Through Family Connectors, families have the opportunity to hear directly from guest presenters representing New York City Public Schools offices and trusted community partners. Presenters share timely information, walk families through available resources, and answer questions in real time, helping families better understand how to access supports related to academics, social emotional well-being, health, special education, multilingual learning, and more. Family Connector session also creates spaces for families to ask questions, share feedback, and feel more confident navigating the school system. By offering consistent, accessible opportunities to connect, these sessions help strengthen family voice, increase awareness of supports, and foster strong home-school partnerships across the city. Families are encouraged to attend these sessions that best fit their schedules, and no prior experience or preparation is needed, just a willingness to learn and ask questions and engage. Also want to update that beginning this January, FACE will launch a new Science of Reading and Math workshop series designed to support families of K-5 students. This 7-part virtual series translates research into practical, easy-to-use strategies that parents can apply at home to strengthen literacy and math skills, particularly for students who may need additional support. These workshops aim to demystify how children learn, build parent confidence, and reinforce families as essential partners in their child's academic growth. So those workshop dates coming up for January 15th, January 22nd, 29th, February 5th, February 12th, and February 26th, and March 5th. And all of this information, I know I'm sharing a lot, members, but I'm going to include all this information in the chat for your review. So please help spread the word by sharing the New York City Public Schools Science of Reading and Math workshop flyer with families in your communities, and we'll share that flyer with you in the chat as well. So I know that's a lot of information. I know I spoke really quickly about a lot of things, just trying to be as thorough as possible. But Randy, I turn it back over to you, and thank everyone for the opportunity to share this information and our work with you.
Thank you, Jesse. Yes, that definitely was a lot, but I know you always put it in the chat, so we're not worried. Okay, so we tried something different last month where we had a little game to test your knowledge, and it went over quite well, so we're gonna do it again. So the same thing as last time, where if you answer the question correctly, we're gonna go by raised hands. So you have to, it's still like a buzzer, you have to hit that quickly. The first hand raised will answer the question. If they get it right, they will get to use the next, to speak what the next question is going to be, which category, but then everyone's hands go down, the next hand's raised, first one gets to answer the question, and so on. We know that we're a little over time, so if the chancellor comes, we're just going to pause, let the chancellor speak, and then we'll go back to the game, so don't worry. And I'm going to turn it over to you now, Becca.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so I'm guessing I should just pick the first category. I forgot how we did it last time.
Yeah, we'll pick the first category and then they raise their hands.
Okay, so we'll do A655 basics for 100. So all SLTs should have a minimum of blank members and a maximum of blank members. In determining the size of their team, budget allocations must be considered.
So raise your hand if you know the answer. No one knows the answer. And thank you, Rima, for not. Rima, just so you know, be aware that Rima likes to answer all the questions. So we want to make sure that we give everyone a chance to answer before she just gets all them, right. No one knows that you just answer the fill in the blanks. Minimum, maximum, team members. All right, go ahead, Rima,
The minimum of 10 and a maximum of 17 because we have not updated A655.
Fortunately. Okay, so you get to
Wait, it's not revealing. Hold on. Okay.
hey, pick the category, Rima.
Who's who for 500?
Wait, I gotta move the box. Sorry.
Do 100 if it's easier. Do 100.
Okay. Deputy Chancellor of Early Childhood Education.
You know the answer, please raise your hand.
Do,
We had so much fun with this. Is everybody on? We had so much fun last month. Do you know the answer? Just raise your hand.
Randy, and am I allowed to play?
Sure. Sure. You want to give the answer?
That is Deputy Chancellor Simone Hawkins.
Thank you so much. So, Suzanne, you can pick the next category.
Oh, I get to pick the next category. Okay. Ooh, this is fun. I'm gonna go with it. Acronyms for 300.
I think you're gonna like that.
Ooh.
Oh, MDR.
Raise your hand if you know the answer to this.
It was on the slide I just presented, so somebody will see who was paying attention.
Come on, members, what are we doing here? All right, go ahead, Rima.
Manifestation determination review.
Thank you, Rima. Pick the next category.
Procedures for 100.
Okay. The notice of election meeting must be in writing and must include.
Got
it.
Melissa.
What is 10 days? And it has to include the date, the time, and the location. And if it's going to be, if it's a hybrid, it has to include the Zoom link as well. Or if it's virtual, the Zoom link as well.
Well, no hybrid.
Oh, sorry.
Just I heard it and I was like,
no
hybrid.
Yeah, I read the thing wrong.
It's okay. Okay, so for your election meeting notice, these are all the things that must be included. I'm showing you, I'm doing my mouse on the screen that you can't see, I'm sorry. But all these things must be included, and if they're not included, that is a grievable election just for excluding one of these things. So please make sure, screenshot this and you have this on your election meeting notice that it will be coming in the spring. Yes, that should have been a 500 point question. Thank you, Christina. So pick the next category, Melissa.
NYCPS Chancellor 400.
Oh, wrong category.
That was, she said NYCP
Chancellor.
Chancellor.
Oh, sorry.
We'll just do this one. Quentin, go ahead, Quentin.
Who is Dr. Keisha McCoy?
And the answer is?
Yep.
Thank you, Quentin. You get to pick the next category.
Awesome. Who's who in NYCPS for 500?
Okay, you need to put your hand down so you can ask the next question.
Okay, Chief of Family, Community, and Student Empowerment.
Oh, here we go. Dr. Melendez.
Dr. Annmary Lopez. Oh, I forget to ask answer in a question. Thanks for letting me play, guys,
You
even though I
look
break all the rules.
Don't be so formal. Okay, so you get to pick the next category.
Who's who for 200?
The Chief of Safety and Prevention Partnerships.
Quentin.
Who is, I think he's Dr. Chief Mark Rampersant.
Is Mark Ramperson a doctor?
No.
No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. It's possible.
Okay, yeah, anything's possible, of course. Okay, Quentin, you get to put your hand down. Oh, that is so funny. Mark comes on at the same time you picked his question.
You see that, Randy? And after I got my question right, you see this?
Yeah. Okay, somebody just let me know if they see the chancellor come in. Okay, so you get to pick the next question, Quentin.
All right, we're gonna knock out who's who for 300 in NYCPS.
Let's do it.
Deputy Chancellor School Leadership.
Raise your hand, raise your hand.
I got that one, Randy, if no one else does.
Go ahead, Suzanne.
Deputy Chancellor Danica Rux.
Okay, you get to pick the next category.
All right, I'm going to go big, and I'm going acronyms for 400.
ICT. Melissa.
Should have dropped the link to the glossary, Suzanne.
Yeah, seriously.
Sorry.
I'm not going to answer that one. I'm going to.
Okay.
We got Melissa.
Is it integrated class teaching?
Close enough.
Okay. Hands down, hands down. Melissa, pick the next category.
All right, I'm going to do process and procedures for 200.
Okay, the principal, parent coordinator, or school webmaster must update the school parent leadership contact information system accessible through the principal's portal within blank calendar days of the election.
Caroline.
I'm trying to make sure I'm right on about this, but if I'm not, I'm sorry. 5 days? Wait. Oh, yay. Okay. Sorry.
Got it.
Thank you.
You know, I want to go to the UFC. Can we go to UFC for 200?
All right, the Staten Island UFT Parent and Community Liaison.
We just had them all on. Melissa.
Bree Rodriguez.
Very good, very good. You get to pick the next category.
I'll go big. Process and procedures for 500.
Okay, this committee may be formed at a general membership meeting and must be an agenda item. After this committee has been formed, the members shall meet and propose changes to the current blank. At the next meeting, this committee will propose these changes to the membership for review. This must be an agenda item. The third meeting, the membership must vote to approve, adopt, or oppose the proposed changes to the blank. This must be an agenda item. See hands, I don't know who's first because I was reading.
I would say I was first, but I don't want to start that fight.
You weren't, but I'm gonna put my hand down for you, girl. I got you.
I only see myself and a few other presidents here. Well, I'll still go for it. What are the PA or PTA bylaws?
Yay.
Can we go to A655 basics for 300?
Okay, pursuant to to state education law section 2590-H, the SLT is responsible for developing an annual school blank that is aligned with the school-based budget for the ensuing school year.
I'm gonna go again and say that I raised my hand first. But
I'm
can we
sorry, I
say
can't
what
see
is the
who it is.
CEP or the Comprehensive Educational Plan?
There you go.
Yep.
Can we have acronyms for 200?
It doesn't show.
All right, BIP.
Randy, Lauren, and I are ready if we got no other hands.
Okay, we have Quentin. Let's see, Quentin, go ahead.
What is the behavior intervention plan?
Way to go, Quentin.
Let's go.
Okay, Quentin, you pick the next category.
All right, we're gonna go for UFT 500.
Did we have this one?
Oh, we
Was
did.
that? I think we did. Staten Island UFT Parent and Community Liaison. We might be in it twice. And Melissa. You guys did last time. I
So
think.
that Marie Rodriguez again? Oh,
Oh, you know what? It was
Oh,
supposed to be
what
Brooklyn.
happened?
That's why. Sorry, mistake.
That's wrong. That's Brooklyn.
Yeah, we already had Staten Island as a question. I think the
Yeah.
question didn't get
Why did
changed.
that come up with Staten Island? That's weird. Okay.
Mistake.
All right.
Sorry.
Melissa pick.
No, Melissa didn't get the answer right.
Oh,
Wait,
well,
you said.
No, well, the question was already answered.
Oh, right.
Let's ask.
yeah.
So go ahead, pick.
A655 for 200.
Okay, SLTs must use blank decision-making process as their primary means of making decisions. Okay, Josephine, did you see who was up first?
I think Quentin.
Tanya. No, it's the person.
Oh,
Who's on top?
I don't know.
Tanya.
Consensus-based decision-making.
Wait.
Yay.
Okay,
Woohoo!
Tanya, pick the next topic, next category.
New York City Public School Chancellor for 500.
All right, NYCPS Chancellor from 2002 to 2010.
Tanya, is your hand up again? Oh.
Ooh.
Quentin?
This is a guess. Who is Joel Klein? I'll take it.
Woo! Quentin's on fire today.
Next category.
I learned from Rima.
That's a good teacher.
So I will go for A655 basics. We'll do 400.
The required members of the citywide high school subcommittee are
Go ahead, Rima.
The 5 borough high school presidents and the superintendents for the citywide high school, for all the high schools in the city.
And
That's them.
pick the next category, Rima.
We'll finish 655 for 500.
Okay. Blank may not serve as a members of the SLT in any capacity in the school where they are employed.
Caroline?
What is the parent coordinator?
Good
Woo.
answer. Pick the next category.
Let's go with UFC for 300.
Okay. The Queen's UFT Parent and Community Liaison.
We just had them on.
We got people.
Oh, sorry, Tanya. I didn't see.
Chelsea Rodriguez.
Okay. You can pick the next category.
Acronyms for 500.
SETS or SETSS.
What is special education teacher support services?
That's it. I think Dial. I think we need to hire Quentin because he's got it all.
Nah, I'm with Rima. Rima's holding back.
So the reason that we let Rima answer the questions is because we did the questions. So if she does the questions, she can't answer. But because we did these questions, she's allowed to answer. So I can't answer, but I do know the answers. But
Gotcha. I think it's a D75 thing. We're always hearing the acronyms.
And they're important.
Right.
We're trying to make them to the subjects, to the topics that we have, that we can test your knowledge after. So we want to make sure everybody's paying attention.
Exactly. I'm gonna go with acronyms for 100.
All right. IEP.
Okay, Tanya.
Individual educational plan.
Say it again.
Individualized educational plan.
Okay. Next topic.
Process and procedures for 400.
Just put your hand down so you can answer again if you want to.
Okay. Compliance with blank. This regulation is the primary ruling document for all president's councils. In the event that a president's council's bylaws contain any provision that conflicts with this regulation, the provision shall be deemed null and void, and the provisions of this regulation shall be deemed controlling.
Melissa.
What is the A660?
You can pick the next category.
I'll finish off process and procedures for 300.
Okay. Filing an election grievance. All election grievances must be submitted in writing and must state the name of the complainants and include a telephone number or email address where they may be contacted. Anonymous complaints and in-person or telephone complaints will not be accepted. They must be submitted no later than blank number of days after the election meeting or announcement of election results if later. They must allege a specific material violation of this regulation or of the PA/PTA's bylaws.
Rima.
What is 5 days?
Pick the next category.
UFT for 400.
The Manhattan UFT Parent and Community Liaison.
Ashley.
Cynthia Alvarez.
Pick the next category, please.
New York City Public School Chancellors for 400.
All right. New York City Public Schools Chancellor from 2011 to 2013.
Tanya. What'd you say?
Oh,
Oh,
Karina.
oh. No, it was Chancellor Dennis Walcott. All right, so Becca, you pick the next category.
well, we'll just go with stay obviously in the chancellors. We'll do 300, I guess. All right, New York City Public Schools Chancellor from 2014 to 2018.
Tanya, was your hand up from before or again?
Farina.
Yes, you got that right.
Okay, so
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Chancellor for 200.
New York City Public Schools Chancellor from 2018 to 2021. Typo.
What is happening to the slide? What happened?
I don't know.
I didn't put that there. Okay, that was a freebie. Everybody got a freebie.
Should we do UFT for 100?
All right, Bronx
Uh,
UFT Parent and Community Liaison.
I bet Rima doesn't know that one. Rima, you gonna answer that one?
Oh, she doesn't.
No, she knows. She's giving somebody else.
We're both on our DLT meeting as well, so she's talking in our DLT right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Sorry. So anyone else for Bronx? Bronx is Maria Morales. Oops, sorry. Sorry, guys.
One more question, right?
Yep.
All right, New York City Public School Chancellor from 2024 to 2025.
Carolyn.
This is a little tough, but I want to say two names. Chancellor David C. Banks and Melissa Aviles Ramos.
Oh, I see what you're saying, because she took over. Okay.
I give it up though, because that's our chancellor too.
Okay, so we want to thank everyone for playing. This is CPAC Jeopardy. Do you want us to do you guys like this? Do you want us to continue this every month? Because this is kind of fun. And we get to test your knowledge and your skills, and we always will have a category based on a presenter, so we could see, what you learned. Sound good? Everybody gave it, a thumbs up or something? Okay, great. Anyone have any suggestions for upcoming meetings on other things? Like we did this Jeopardy and you guys like it. Would there be something else that you guys would be interested in?
They can include it in the questionnaire we send out in the email every month.
Yeah, so the questionnaire that's sent out, we ask for it to be back in time for us to send it over to the chancellor and his team. So we want to make sure that your voices are heard. There's a lot of times we would have liked to have more questions for Dial and Ola, but sometimes the schedule just gets really tight. So if that's the case, we won't be able to ask your questions live, but at least if you ask in advance, you will get your answer at at the meeting. So please use that questionnaire. It's to help you advocate for your district and your community. Okay, so Chancellor's running a little late. If Dial doesn't mind or Face doesn't mind, if we have any questions that we'd like to ask.
Absolutely, Rennie, be a pleasure.
Okay, so were there any questions in the chat for Dial that didn't get answered yet? I'm gonna look back. There was a question that was emailed. I think I sent you in the chat. There's a lot of stuff being written in the chat.
I think we got the majority, right? We spoke about the related service provider. We spoke about the mandated 3-year review process. That was in the chat. We're going to be sharing the PowerPoint and looking to partner and support the U of T liaisons on any of their family and parent engagement activities. Rima, I see your hand. Is that for
Okay, Rima.
us or?
Yeah, actually, so thank you. One, amazing presentation, very inclusive. I super appreciate that. My question is, or comment question is, if we can just talk a little bit about how we support families with translating IEPs. And I do want to highlight that there is kind of an issue there where sometimes the document doesn't fully translate, particularly like the headings will be translated and then the text will not be. But again, that's an issue I'm highlighting as a president, but as just a parent, can we just talk a little bit about like parent rights with translation in regards to IEP and IEP meetings and interpretation, please?
Absolutely, be our pleasure. And Lauren, I don't know if you want to jump in on that as well, but it is certainly every parent's right and something we take very seriously, that IEPs are translated into the family's home language. And a lot of work has been done around this with different groups and different divisions within New York City Public Schools, I think, as you know. And one of the questions, Rima, actually that CPAC here, I think that Randy had brought up at one of our first meetings, was that families didn't always know that they had the right and or the opportunity to have their child's IEP translated. And I'm wondering if you feel that that message is being shared broadly enough, or if that's a place that Dial should lean into with our partners in FACE as well as language access a little bit more deeply and aggressively.
And Rima, just to get to your the quality control piece, I think for us it's really important that we know when these things happen. And so if you can send us those so we can make sure that we hold the vendor accountable. We're also working with the Office of Language Access to really think about how do we hold our vendors overall accountable for some of these for the services they're providing, and how do we do that well and keep track so that we are using, so that our families are getting the best quality, either interpretation, translation, or supports all the time. So happy to partner with you and others in this space to really think about what that tool will look like. We have some ideas, but I think there's definitely others that you have that are very prevalent, very pertinent to specific things, whether it's the IEP translations or other things that are not always on our radar. So happy to take immediate feedback from those particular IEPs, and then also know that we are working on a quality control tool where we're really thinking about how we're holding people, our vendors, accountable to creating high quality products.
Thank you for that, Christina.
Rima, maybe on DLT.
No, but I appreciate your response. Like, this is a response for everyone, so that's important. I mean, there's a lot of times that you have translation services for a parent, but if they really don't understand the content, it doesn't really make the translation, you know, like they say, like, my Spanish is not so good looking, or like, you know, for the different languages. So we just want to make sure that parents are understanding what's being said, not just in their language, but the content that's being explained too. That's, you know, difficult.
And the Office of Language Access provides free translations for families during the IEP process and of the IEP. And Kevin McGinn is going to drop that link here so that we can, and you all can share it out broadly as well, so that everybody has access to that.
Thank you so much. I mean, Dial, you guys are incredible. I've had conversations with you all, and I've shared, you know, like my daughter had an IFSP in early intervention. So like I've been through that all the way through IEP in high school and everything. And this team, you guys are like outstanding. I've never met as many people that are just like devoted to the work, that care so, like I could cry. Like it's just, it really is like, it's an emotional thing to make that connection with people that they truly care. It's not about just, oh, like, let's check this and check that. And it's not like a box. It's real people doing the work to benefit all our children and their families and to make sure we're all getting supported. I I've never seen like a team work as hard as you guys do, and we appreciate you. Like, there's no words. There's just no words to express like how much we appreciate you all.
Thank you so much, Randy. That means a great deal, and we are so, having a child in this day and age, or probably any day and age, is not easy, and having a child with a disability is requires so much more of the family, whether it's a single parent, multi-generational household, whatever the case may be. And when I've always said, when you work under Deputy Chancellor Foti, the first thing you do, you learn very quickly, is that you care. And if you don't, you're not in the right place. We feel that deeply every single day. And this is the work. This is why we're here. This is what we need to be doing, is getting the word out. And we're fortunate enough to have partners in our other divisions, like Deputy Chancellor Melendez and Deputy Chancellor Rux and the others who are here, Mark Rare-Persand, who works to keep our kids safe. And we're just really grateful for the partnership. But CPAC is, you guys are more than like a lever for change. You are a conduit, and the access to families that you have is where we need to be. And so just thank you for that, Randy. It's really, really kind of you.
And Randy, if I could echo the gratitude, and thanks, Suzanne. I do think so many of us come to this work in advocacy, from an advocacy lens, because we ourselves have experienced in some capacity or other, and it's very personal to us. On my end, I think most of you know that I have an adult brother with very, very significant disabilities, and parents who had very limited education themselves, and watched them struggle, watched him struggle, watched him never belong, watched him never have a community, watched, my parents feel so embarrassed and humiliated trying to get him an IEP that worked for him, and always feeling like they didn't have the education that the educators talking to them had, and therefore they didn't have the right to actually ask for what my brother needed. And that, my biggest hope as a kid was, the prayer I used to say to folks at night was, can you make us equal? Could you make us equal? And so the life's work here of myself and my team, our life's journey is about, professionally, is about creating an equal path for all students with disabilities, and certainly for our families. It shouldn't have to be a struggle. And you all are the brightest lights for us in terms of your advocacy, and our gratitude is unwavering to you all. And so we appreciate the acknowledgement, Randy, but we also, we do this for all of you, and we do it for your children, and it's truly a labor of love. There's nothing else we'd rather do.
I appreciate you saying that.
Right.
I mean, go ahead, Christina. Sorry.
Randy, I just wanted to add, hats off to Dial. They really are an amazing, caring division in all ways, and always. But also just wanted to further elevate the translation, because the chat is really lively around that. And I know it's very real. And it's really important for us that families all know that, yes, there is a form. You don't have to submit the form. You can just tell the people at the school while going through your annual or whatever conversations or meetings, you can just say, I would like this in my language, and then just express the language of choice. These are not translated automatically, obviously, for a million reasons, particularly the fact that they're so personal and long. And so we want to make sure that we provide everyone with access to that document so that they can actually advocate for all of the things that their child deserves and needs. And they're clear about that. So please, please, please know that as soon as you get the document, you can ask for them to be translated and available in your language. And if they are not, or that's met with some sort of concern or issue or question, please reach out to any of us. We are more than happy to make sure that it happens so that you have it. And we will continue to talk to our language access coordinators to make sure that whoever is working on IEPs, our teams in our schools, that they are aware and offering that as well.
Thank you. That's really important to make sure that our parents know and they understand that this is available to them. I do have a suggestion. I know that I've talked to Christina Fody, sorry, there's two Christinas here. I think that the Comfort Dog program would actually benefit a lot of our students with different abilities. And Kirsten Kinsella, who runs the program, is outstanding as well. And I think that there definitely can be, you know, some kind of collaboration to have these comfort dogs in the schools.
The comfort dog.
Absolutely. And I just was going to say, Chief Ampersand's here, and I saw his face light up when you said that, Randy.
Listen, I jump at any opportunity to be partners with my special needs folks. The work for folks who do the work for our special needs students. It is my pleasure to be able to have any part, right? So when I hear about an opportunity for us to elevate and escalate the work that Kirsten is doing, which is so amazing. And I wish that each and every one of you had an opportunity to just see it in action, the way that young people who are challenged in the moment don't even realize that they de-escalate by just sitting there and rubbing the dog. It's crazy. I think it's a brilliant way for us to reach our young people, and in some cases even reach the adults. So I welcome any opportunity to elevate and escalate this work. We are trying to expand it to more schools. Obviously, it's going to take some attention from hierarchy in order to do that, but I'm here and we're game for it. Absolutely.
Thank you. I've had many conversations with her and she's explained the work. I know that it's a very small team doing this work, but she's actually explained, like, you just think that it's a comfort dog and they come to the school and
No.
it's so much more. It falls under academics, it falls into
Right.
social emotional. There's just so many things, and she's another person with such a huge heart. Like this cabinet, I don't know, I've been around for 20 years now. This is my 21st year, and this cabinet and like everyone at New York City Public Schools, I try not to say DOE, so when you hear me pause, it's to not say DOE, it's New York City Public Schools. But you guys are just incredible. It's been like a complete 360 from what we're used to as parent leaders. So we're just so happy with everyone here and the work that you do and how you come out and you support us and our children. It's incredible. But I know Rima has her hand up for like a long time, so I'm sorry, Rima, go ahead.
Thank you. And again, thank you, Dial, my favorite office. Sorry, guys, this is what it is. Thank you for sharing the general information too, because while we're talking about special education, the interpretation translation issue is system-wide. And so thank you for sharing. There's a parent-facing portal, which is what they shared. But if you go in there, there's a link to the info hub for staff if you need to help them help themselves. And that's where they'll find the form to request the information and the emails and all of the support that they need. My question: when students have an IEP and a mandate for language services, can we talk a little bit about that? And, you know, like my favorite is always about D75, particularly because 100% of the students have IEPs typically for 100% of the day, and it conflicts directly with language services. So if we can talk a little bit about how we can support families in that situation. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Rima, and multi-layers there. And I'm going to ask Kevin to jump in on that if you have anything specific to talk about there, Kevin. If not, we can connect with Rima offline.
Yeah, Rima, it might be good to connect offline and get a little more information about the scenarios that you're experiencing. But certainly sympathetic and understand some of the challenges that can come up when a student is recommended for a high volume of services and then maybe has language services that are needed on top of that, and how difficult that can be to juggle. But absolutely happy to speak to you about that, unless you had more context you wanted to share here.
Rima's double dipping right now, so she
Okay.
just trying to be honest. So unfortunately, the mayor's having a press conference right now, and our current chancellor is there, so he's unable to be here today, and he regrets that he can't be here. He really wanted to meet everyone. He was looking forward to getting to learn and know all of us here, but he will be on for next month. If anyone has any questions that they want to ask, we do have, you know, his cabinet members here, so you could just use the raise hand feature and we'll call on you in that order. Caroline?
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for always joining us in conversation. This is one of the most transparent spaces to directly talk with you guys. So I'm always excited to come to this particular meeting of all the meetings we go to. So my question is more about the different initiatives that were already in place and how that's going to carry forward for this particular chancellor as far as New York City Reads. Ambassadorship program, we know that it's continuing, but are the prospects for that changing, like the end goals? Are the parents going to be engaging in another level, or is it going to continue to be the same type of, I guess you could say, timeline for all the different initiatives that are going on, including New York City Cares?
I can start us off, and maybe the team can chime in on New York City Reads at schools and all of the things that happens in our wonderful school spaces. When it comes to our parent leader or our parent work, whether it's the New York City Reads ambassadors or the family connectors, we have been working diligently to continue those programs because they're very popular, and you guys have shown that it's not only a good place to get information, but it's also been very helpful in arming you with information to support your communities, whether it's your schools or your houses or your buildings. I mean, it's been incredible, the anecdotes that we've received from all of you in the field. And so we are very grateful that you have taken that empowerment and shared with others. And so those are going to continue. The interesting part about where we are right now is that we are working on making them happen in our districts. And so soon you will have invitations of these workshops taking place in districts, in whether it's a school or a district office. We will send those pieces of information because the goal is to have that work live with all of you locally and not be governed or supervised by us centrally. And we know that you can do it, and we've seen that you do it, and we've seen how you support each other. And so those are going to continue. We're grounding them now with the hopes of making sure that you guys have everything you need to continue them on your own as well. So that's where we are with ambassadors and family connectors. And then I think, Danielle, I think I saw, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, the chancellor's actually coming on. I just said that. I said I don't want
You just did. Yes, you did.
I don't want to end the meeting, and then he comes on, and then we ended. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Melendez.
Sorry.
Nope. Anytime.
Let's just give him a moment to settle, get acclimated a minute. Chancellor Samuels, are you?
Yes, I'm on. I'm here. I'm ready. You know, we just had a wonderful announcement. We are moving the needle right away on universal child care. And so I would encourage you all to listen to that announcement from the governor and the mayor. Wonderful partnership that they've started that actually is right away bearing dividends for all of our 3K, pre-K, 2-year-olds over the next 2 years. Just a wonderful commitment from the governor and moving in the right direction. So hi everyone. I was totally committed to making this call. I didn't want you guys to leave the call without me coming on, just to say how honored and proud I am to be your chancellor, and just really super excited to get to work. As you know, you guys represent, all of our parents, all of our families across the city, but you also represent me because I have 2 kids in the public school system, and I really want to be a part of you holding me accountable to showing up as my best. And I will hold you accountable as well because you need to show up for me and show up for my kids. So this is a true partnership from my perspective. parental empowerment, parental engagement of families. Empowerment of families is really at the heart of the leadership that I've tried to emulate across 2 districts before this, and certainly as a principal and as a teacher. I had a chance today of visiting District 13, Arts and Letters 305 United, a school that I really led the merger of during the pandemic and just before the pandemic, actually. And to see what that school is today and the promise that it shows and the model that it shows for our city truly warmed my heart. And I had the privilege of reconnecting with parents that I met during that process. And it really touched me, and it's something that I'm super passionate about. And so I'm ready to really move in a continue a great direction that we're heading in with all of our parental and family engagement strategies and empowerment strategies. That's a hallmark of my leadership. So thank you all.
Well, thank you for being here. So just want to say on behalf of the Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council, congratulations on your appointment as Chancellor of the New York City Public School System. This is like a meaningful moment for our school system, and we look forward to your leadership at a time where families and students and educators are seeking stability, transparency, and partnership. So CPAC stands ready to work collaboratively with you to elevate parent voice, to strengthen trust, and to ensure that decisions reflect the needs of our students across our diverse city. So we wish you great success as you step into this important role and remain committed to supporting a shared vision of equity, excellence, and opportunity for every child.
As I commit to being your partner. Thank you.
Thank you. So do you have time to answer some questions?
Sure. Yes, absolutely.
I didn't know if you just were.
What else I gotta do? Come on. I have time to answer your questions. No problem.
Okay, so what are your priorities, your mission and vision, and about parent empowerment, parent involvement, engagement?
Yeah. Look, I believe all of our schools need to be safe. And when I say safe, I mean not just physically safe, but socio-emotionally safe, spiritually safe. The schools where children can be affirmed and our young people can live out their best selves. And they won't do that unless schools are also rigorous. Right? I do believe in really ensuring that our students are being and our young people are being pushed to really achieve their full potential. That's what I want for my own child, and that's what I want for all the young people around the city. One of the very cool things is that we now are committed to not just a reading program, but MTSS, which just means, and I am committed to making MTSS that acronym makes sense for all of our families. And what it just means is that no matter where your child is, when they come into a school, a family will, a teacher and a principal, everyone in that school will know where that child is on the pathway in their reading progress. And so what we have done is to ensure that we have a host of interventions that we are that we can point to make sure that our teachers know, okay, if a student is here, they need to get this. If a student is here, they need to get something else. Because we can't have a one-size-fits-all approach when we have so many different and diverse students across our schools and are in different areas. So we need to make sure that we are pushing them and giving them exactly what they need. And finally, when we really, emphasize our rigorous schools, when we really emphasize how safe schools are, then families will really want to benefit from the wonderful diversity that our kids have to and our city has to offer. And so I want to make sure that our schools are truly integrated. And we're going to have a lot of conversations and a lot of work that goes into that. But when our students need to be affirmed when they come to school, and that means they see themselves in the curriculum and they see other great things in the curriculum. So they have windows and mirrors in our curriculum. So that's the work that we've been doing with our Hidden Voices curriculum, and we have to expand on that work. And when we think about our class size, when we think about making sure that every student and every young person is being seen and heard and connected with a teacher, we really have to make sure that we have smaller class sizes. And that's what it's not about a compliance with the law for me. It is about ensuring that teachers have the support they need to connect with individual students every single day in a classroom. And we're going to be pushing as much as possible and partnering with our union officials and partners to make sure that that happens.
Thank you for that. Next question is, how will you ensure that co-located schools and essential programs receive equitable support, particularly when they're often given lower priority than more highly sought after programs?
Yeah, so something we're really thinking about is, ensuring that schools are really using the resources that they have. And we've seen some wonderful co-location practices in our city where two schools, they come together, they have one team, they come together, they share an art teacher, they share so many different ways. We have our building councils, right, that are really put together to make sure that across buildings, our schools are sharing their practices and doing not only sharing practices, but sharing resources to make sure that every single child in that school has an opportunity to do something well. Now, it's not every school that is necessarily has those practices. So what we need to make sure is that we are connecting across districts, across schools, in order to spread the best practices of how to use resources within a co-located campus. I think that's something that we can do, and we're going to be working towards continuing to do that.
Okay. I know it was kind of answered, but I'll just ask because it was a question that was submitted. Will you continue the following key initiatives from previous administrations that are already producing positive outcomes for students and families, like New York City Reads, Reads Ambassadors, New York City Solves, and Family Connectors?
Yes, we are definitely going to continue, but we have to operate on lessons learned. One of the things that I really pride myself on is being a reflective practitioner. I'm always trying to reflect on how to get better. And so when we think about Reads and Solves, for Reads, we have to think to ourselves, what is the next step to ensuring that we have the highest quality experience for our child? And sometimes now that teachers have a good understanding of what the curriculum might be, it's okay, so how am I using that to make intentional decisions for the child that's in front of me? And so as we go forward, we want to take that and use resources that are already available, to whether it's, like I said before, Hidden Voices or Civics for All. How are we creating like these interdisciplinary experiences for students to really do a lot better? So I don't just think about it as the Reads that we've started to implement, which I think we've seen some strong progress with. I also think of it as how do we even get better for Souls. I've already said there, as a former math teacher myself, right, I am looking at ways that we can ensure that the way we communicate about Souls and the way we are working with our teachers and the way we're working with our principals, we can think a little bit differently. And I just want to, and this is coming out of my own experience on the ground with solves, right? Where I've seen us work with our parents, and our parents have questions, and sometimes, it's a very simple question. We are talking about kids being better at understanding the conceptual understanding of math, kids being better at making sense of a problem. And then our parents said, but my kid is in 4th grade and they don't know their times tables. And sometimes we're so concerned with the conceptual understanding piece, we don't really honor that as a real issue. Automaticity in math, being able to know your times tables is actually a lifelong skill that you need to acquire. And we need to be able to speak directly to that with parents, so that when they're doing algebra, when they're doing problems at the higher levels, they are able to factor during algebra quickly. You can't be counting on your hands at that time and expect to do well at an 8th, 9th grade algebra test. And that's what I think is truly important. We can't throw out the baby with the bathwater when we do these initiatives.
Okay. How will you ensure that parent leaders have a real voice in decision-making and not just use as advisory feedback when it comes to policy changes, regulations, initiatives, and overall governance?
Yeah, this is so huge. 2 things. First of all, advisory and feedback are super important, and they've always helped me throughout my career with in talking to families. But the idea of democratizing our mayoral control is to ensure that we are exploring ideas for parents, not only to have access to meetings, not only to really be present in these spaces, but to have true decision-making power. And I think that's something, those are ideas that we are really thinking about very closely. And I think you can expect to see more thoughts around that in the upcoming weeks and months.
Looking forward to that. Okay. How do you plan to monitor and safeguard the proper allocation and use of funds designated for specific student populations and classrooms to ensure they directly benefit students?
Yeah, that is a critical component of what we have to do. We want to make sure that we continue to have a lot of funds, the vast majority of our funds attached to schools that are really making sure that our schools get the vast majority of what we have and what we do. And as we get closer to having, budget concerns and so on, we want to make sure, as in today, that our highest priorities are well resourced, right? And this is what the governor, I think the mayor really rolled out today. And that we will continue to do that. When we think about our students with special needs and our MLLs in many schools, we have ensured that we have an appeals process in place, or we have ensured that the weights that are ascribed to those students we've targeted schools with a higher concentration of those students. So we want to make sure our most vulnerable students are receiving their equitable ways of funding, and that's something we're always working with our chief financial officer and others.
Okay. What is your plan to continue and strengthen mental health support for students, including counseling, social workers, and school-based services?
Yeah, that is, a huge one, especially since the pandemic. It's hard to be an adult, but sometimes I'm kind of feeling it's harder to be a kid these days. It's harder to be an adolescent, especially when, as a former middle school principal myself, I see how our students sometimes are struggling. And first and foremost, we have to make sure we continue with the social media, with our policy on cell phones in schools. I think that's made a huge difference. Students are now talking to each other more, and so we have to continue to make sure that's funded. Also, I think teachers are amazing people, and they are also our front line, but they need the support of a social worker, and they need the support of guidance counselors. But there's also so many great organizations that are working to offer programming in school, and we have to make sure that we continue to coordinate with those programs and that are helping young people to really reflect and think about their skill sets and think about how to engage with the world. And we are committed to continuing to do that. We'll work with the Office of Climate and Culture in the department, and we're certainly mindful of the needs of our adolescents. I have a 16-year-old at home, and his needs are dramatically different than my 6-year-old, right? And so we need to make sure that we take our adolescents and we take our young people's mental health super seriously. And there are several ways to do that, and we're going to continue to build on that in the department.
If I may, can I add to that?
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Mark, I didn't realize you're on. I mean, I should
No.
know, but I didn't realize you're on.
No problem. Know that I always got your back. Every one of we should not discount the fact that we've done amazing work to ensure that every one of our students have access to a social worker, a school counselor, and or our school-based health clinics that provide those services and supports as well. Also, I want to brag about the work that New York City Public Schools have done with 40 of the higher educational establishments, to the tune of 300 social work interns now in our schools providing mental health supports to our young people. And the work that we have prioritized in training our crisis teams around the importance of mental health support through the work we're doing in trauma-informed care, of which 900 parents have been trained in thus far. And that's a huge task that we need to recognize and elevate. And eventually, we are going to work to have students who are peers, peer-to-peer mental health supports and training. So you guys look forward to that.
Okay, Mark, notice how I said continue and strengthen. It wasn't something new, it was continue and strengthen. We know that it's there.
Yes.
So I just
Yeah.
make sure.
I have to give Mark a whole bunch of credit in front of everybody. Mark, I am going to say this man is capable of keeping 900,000 kids safe, and he's more than capable of keeping this one individual here safe. And he and his team have done an amazing job with me. And I just want to say thank you, Mark. And yeah, just for all you do. I had no idea. You guys have zero idea how much goes into what Mark and his team does to not only keep us physically safe, but also emotionally safe every day.
Absolutely. Mark is he always makes himself accessible, especially to parent leaders. So you have an incredible team.
So I am gonna have to run. So I'll take one. I'll take the last question, if you have one.
Okay, so I'll go to the last question then. So looking back at on your time as superintendent in New York City Public Schools, what legacy do you leave behind? What legacy do you believe you left for students, families, and educators? And how are the lessons you've learned as superintendent shaping what you will do differently now as a chancellor?
Wow. Man, I'm happy I made you ask that last question. That's a really good one, and I need to. I will happily say that across 2 districts, the one thing that I've truly learned is when you keep the young people at the center of your thoughts and thinking every single day, you will be okay. And so what I've done is to keep young people at the center and realize that the families that entrust us with their kids every single day, deserve to be heard, not just heard, but listened to, and their ideas are completely valuable and should shape the decision making every single day. And so for me, what we did in District 3 with our working groups that produced outcomes, right? So it wasn't just about having a working group. It was about, yes, working on these things that we're going to do together. And we did that in the Harlem section, and we're in the middle of doing that when I left in the other two sections of our district. I think that is super important to me. It's not just about, do parents like you and do parents love you? It's about what are we achieving when we work together, and are we solving the biggest problems together? That's what I think about and leave. That's what I think about as my legacy, and as I'm leaving, and well, I guess I've left already. I still live there, so I haven't left. But as I think about District 3 and District 13, those are the things that come to mind.
Okay. So
All
we
right.
appreciate you being here today. I know that you do watch the YouTube videos for CPAC. So I now I know you watch them. So if you go back to look, Dial's presentation today,
Okay.
exemplary. I can't even say enough, but I know you
Awesome.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. And yes, the Dial, Christina Fody and her team, I have to say they were great as a superintendent, and I see how much even better they are than I even thought they are now that I'm a chancellor. So I'm excited. Thank you so much, guys. Talk soon.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, you too.
Okay, so we did manage to get our chancellor on the call. So it shows his dedication to parent leaders. So that's a great first impression for us. And we appreciate him being here. We appreciate everyone behind the scenes, because I know, like, sometimes I look a little distracted because I'm getting the text messages behind the scenes as things are happening. So I just want to thank Face. You guys are also outstanding. You've come such a long way from where Face was originally to where you guys are now. Like, God bless you all. So thank you for uplifting parent voice, for working with us as true partners, and collaborating. And again, Chancellor's team, you're all so much appreciated. Kevin Moran's the GOAT. Like, he's always there. So, like, I can't say enough. Like, everybody is just terrific. So thank you so much. We're actually over time. We are done with our agenda. Does anyone have any questions or any comments that they'd like to share before we go? For the Spanish line, is there anyone, any of our voting members in the Spanish line that has a question?
There are no questions on the Spanish line.
Thank you. Okay, if there are no further questions, would someone like to make
Randy, I just want to quickly remind everybody to not forget to do the interim report.
Oh, yes.
Due this month.
Interim financial reports from July 1st to January 15th. They are due January 31st. Even if you did not fundraise, you still have to fill one out and just put $0 in the income, the expense, sign it, date it, give it to your principals. They still have to be uploaded to SPLCI. So make sure that that's done. If not, everything is only until January 15th. That's the cutoff. So please make sure. And if you ever have any questions, you know that we're always available. You can email us at CPAC. Someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion in the chat.
Second.
Second. All right. That was Rima and Caroline?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you all for coming, and have a great day. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank y'all. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. Happy New Year, all.
Happy New Year. Take care.
You too.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.